All right, guys, go ahead and grab a pen, pencil, paint, marker, whatever. Or if you're cleaning your house, that's fine. But this is a little draw with me video. And you're not going to believe this. Yesterday, I sat down to record this voiceover, and the video is about 63 minutes long. So I get to the 60-minute mark, and I notice that the recording of the video starts like buffering. And I'm like, man, well, what is that? Like, what's going on? And so I'm like, whatever, I guess. So I just keep talking. And I had already recorded 60 minutes of it, and my phone died and deleted the entire file. I was like, dude, I was like, are you serious? Because this microphone, it plugs into my phone, and that kind of gives it power. Like I don't have to plug it into the wall and my phone, which is actually pretty cool. But if I don't pay attention before I start recording and see how charged my phone is, it becomes a problem, and then um yeah, and then it just deletes it for some reason. I don't know why I can't just save it, but it doesn't. So, anyways, I'm gonna yeah, I'm not gonna try to redo what I did yesterday. I'm just gonna talk, and we're gonna chill. We're gonna relax here. Um, I'm curious to see what you guys are doing. Are you drawing? Are you cleaning? I like listening to stuff in the background. Just putting something on. So yeah. It is July 26th and 2026. That's a mouthful. July 26th, 2026. And it's 3:21 in the afternoon. Um, I've just got done with my routine that I usually do. I can tell you a little bit about that if you're interested. Are you interested? Okay, thank you. If you're not, I'm going to tell you anyways. I get up at around 8:30. I go for a little walk ski poo. I come back after my walk, and I'll just like chill. I'll put a timer on my phone and do my Bible stuff. Hang out with the J man, God, Jesus, um, for a few hours, and then I'll do my extracurricular activities. I've seen this thing. I stumbled upon this world that I didn't know existed, and that is the world of like learning, but not in a sense of like going to school and learning and it being boring and everything. No, it's people like teaching themselves. So like school is there to, in my opinion, in most cases, school is designed to waste our time, to put us down, to shape us into people they want us to be, and to really kill your spirits. That's the point of like going to a building school, and in my opinion and in my experience. But going to people have like created this thing where they're like, I want to learn stuff, I'll teach myself. Like older people, like my age and like whatever. It's like designing your own curriculum. It's really interesting, actually. It's like I said, I stumbled into a world I never knew existed. Like there's people that actually want to learn, like, and you can make it whatever you want it to be. If it doesn't have to be boring, if you will, normal school subjects, but they talk about like learning about history, like, and then the fun part is if you want to learn about history, you not only get to choose that, but you get to pick what you're learning about in history and where you're learning it from. So it's not just out of the textbooks of the opinions of that we're sold and told that that's what happened. Like you can do your own research and form your own opinions about everything that happened in whatever point of history you want to learn about. And so that's really cool. Or it doesn't have to be like that. You could give yourself a writing class, or make yourself, some kind of art class or music class or fun thing, science or whatever. But it's this cool thing that like I don't know who came up with it, but it's such a good idea and like puts the fun back in learning. And it really helped me realize that I like learning a lot. I love learning new stuff. When I was in school, I was labeled um and put in like the dumb, if you will, the dumb classes, like the lower, excuse me, put in the lower classes. And like everybody knew that those were the lower classes, and I mean, people didn't really make fun, at least of me, but like you were considered like lower if you were in those classes and like you needed extra help and stuff. I had extra reading teachers. I had to go out of the room and take extra tests, like, because I don't know, like they felt I wasn't learning correctly or something. But yeah, man, I did not like school. School's one of those things where I look at people today, like kids, and I'm like, I just feel so bad for them, like that they have to go to school. What a drag. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, imagine having to go to school. It makes me sick. What a waste of time. You know what I mean? At least in the sense of like the way that they do school. What a waste of time. Um, yeah, I really did not like school. Also, wasn't the brightest period of my life either. So, I mean, you could say that that had a little bit to do with it, but still, even if it was a brighter period of my life, I still wouldn't have. It's not about. It's about the way that they teach it and the way that like people learn differently, man. And if your teacher doesn't understand that or doesn't, I don't know, have enthusiasm about what they're teaching, or if they don't care or they only know how to teach one way, well, how is anybody else going to learn? You know what I mean? And also, I get it, you know, for teachers out there, if you have like, what, 26 to 30 students, it can be hard, I would imagine, to um, understand everybody learns differently and like try to, help everyone. But I don't know. I didn't learn the way everybody else did. And at a certain point, that made me not care, like, at all. Like I would study. I remember in the beginning of school, like, I was like, I want to be smart. I want to know stuff because my grandma, she's a smart lady. She loves to read and she enjoys learning things and teaching things and stuff like that. And so she taught us that, like, knowledge is a powerful thing. And so I'm like, well, I want to be smart, so I would try, or at least how I knew how to try, flashcards and cramming information into your head. But no matter how hard I would study, no matter how hard I would do any of that, man, I would fail. I wouldn't get like a C or D or B. No, I would completely fail. It just stunk. And after a time, that just, what kid wants to keep going back and keep going back and keep going back when they never succeed and they don't do good? Like, who would want to do that? Adults don't want to do that. You know what I mean? How do they expect children to do that? But that's when I found drawing and everything, and I was just like, you know what? I know what I'm good at, and it's not school, so I'm gonna go over here and draw. See you later. I've tried, and so like I never really, yeah. But my point is, like, I don't know. I guess it's just the way that they did it, like the way school was. Why? How are you expecting to like sit a bunch of children who play and have imaginations in a classroom for 8 hours? Okay, that's a long time for a child to sit and be still and basically tell them, like, don't be creative, don't express yourself, learn this. You know what I mean? Learn it. And I understand that they're just trying to pump out workers, but you know, it's still like, how can you be expected to do anything that way? And so my point is, now that I'm older and I'm an adult and I can make my own decisions and like I'm not forced to go to school, I really love learning. I love I love learning about things that interest me, not things that they want me to know. And so that's why I think like just school is a waste of time. Maybe not college. If college is a waste of money, not a waste of time, in my opinion. But college, I think you get to pick all your classes. Um, well, I guess you get to pick your degree or whatever, and then they kind of pick your classes. But I mean, you get more of a say in what you're doing and where you're spending your time. So I mean, that's cool, but I think it's a waste of money. Although, if I had the money, I would go, and I think I will go one day. But that's TBD. Um, let's see. Yeah, school. Oh yeah, I love learning stuff. I love challenging my brain and like just trying to go deeper or whatever, and like finding things that I want to learn about. I ask so many questions. I notice I'm just a person who asks a lot of questions, and I'm so grateful to live in a day and age where like we have Google and we can just Google it. It's so nice. It's so funny because like my mom will be like, "Man, I wonder something," and like she just won't look it up. And I'm like, "Well, why don't you look it up?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, well, it's fine." And it's just funny because I'm like, because I grew up with it. Like, any question you want to know, you can Google it, and most of the time you'll find the answer, which is super cool. I like that I've grown up in this time and I can do that and instantly have information. Oh, excuse me. Moving my table. Instantly have whatever I want to know at my fingertips. It's super cool. And the fact that I am now in control of my own time and I get to decide what I do with it, it's just cool. The sky is the limit, So yeah, talked a little bit about it in the last video, but yeah, so I'm learning ASL, American Sign Language, which is cool. Been doing that for about 2 months now, and then recently I started piano again, practicing. Not that I played before. I can play like the basic shape or whatever, but I don't really know any songs. But now I'm spending time every day practicing piano, which is super cool. It's like starting to click with me because I already play guitar, and I don't know, yesterday when I was doing it, something about it just kind of clicked about how similar they are and the why and everything. So so that's pretty cool. And so I was learning about that. But yeah, man, it really stinks that thing got deleted. I was talking about so many cool things. What was I talking about? I was talking about movies. I love talking about movies. Oh, yeah. I was saying how I'm having a hard time. So if you guys have any suggestions for movies, please leave them in the comments below, and I will most likely watch them if they look good. I'm the kind of person who has to look up a trailer for a movie, or not a show, but a movie, before I'll watch it. I'm so particular about what I watch. And I don't think in this day and age, I don't think that's too much, to be very particular about my movies, because and you can't blame me, right? Because you'll be watching a show or a movie and everything's going fine. It's a good movie, and all of a sudden unnecessary content will pop up out of the blue, and you just it's just kind of there for no reason. It doesn't really move the story along, like, you know what I mean when I say like adult content. Like, it doesn't, we could have just panned out and we get the point. You know what I mean? Like, why do they, it chaps my khakis that they do that, Why do we have to why do we have to do that? It's so if that happens, I'll just shut a movie off, which is really irritating because I spend lots of time looking for what I want to watch, I don't know if anybody else does that, but like I can watch about a half of a movie or one whole movie a day, and like while I eat dinner, and then I'll watch half of it while I eat dinner and then the other half while I'm drawing late at night. But I spend a lot of time looking for these certain moods that I'm in, like, oh, I want to watch movies from the early 2000s, or sometimes I'll get on a kick with actors and actresses and stuff, and I'll look up like all of their movies and watch like a bunch of their movies with them in it. I like doing that. But did I talk about this in the last video? I don't know if I did or not. Sorry if I did. Anyways, I'm just background noise. But, yeah, I like searching up movies like that. And, what was my point? What was my train of thought? Talking about movies. The unnecessary stuff. So I spend a lot of time searching for the kind of vibe that I want. And, like, I'll watch the trailer and everything, and then I'll start watching the movie, and most of the time it's in the beginning, and I'm like, thank you for not wasting my time. A good example of this is Marty Supreme, that movie with Timothy Chalamet. It's newer. I think it came out on Christmas. Well, I went to see it on Christmas, and I was super excited for it. It looked so good. Honestly, whoever makes those trailers, that'd be a heck of a job, wouldn't it? Making movie trailers. That'd be so cool. I feel like whoever is making the movie trailers, you really hold like the power of whether people are going to go see it or not, on how good your trailer is or isn't, or if you accidentally give away the entire movie. Yeah, that'd be a cool job. But the trailer looked so good. It had one of my favorite songs ever in it, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and it's like the bass is booming, and like it's such a good trailer. Yeah, you should at least watch the trailer. Don't watch the movie. So I get there, and I get to the movie theater. I think it was the day it came out. I went and watched it on Christmas. I get there. Mind you, when you go to the movies, you're in the theater with a bunch of other people. Like, you're not just at home. so it makes it worse. But like the first scene is adult content, and I'm just like, bro, I drove 40 minutes to be here to this theater. It's Christmas, like, and there's immediately, and I was like, it's fine, it's fine. All right, it's fine. It's whatever. I'll look away. There's a bunch of strangers in the room watching it with me. You know, I wonder what other people think about like when that happens. Are they like, this is awkward, or are they like, oh yeah, whatever, it's just a movie? Like, I don't know, it's creepy to me. Why do I want to watch that especially why do I want to watch it, period, but in a room full of other people? No thank you. Anyways, and so it happened like four more times in the movie, out of nowhere. Like, you had no second to be, no, out of nowhere. And I was just, I saw, I left. And I usually don't do that. I'm not somebody who will do that, but because I don't like leaving movies even if they're bad, because like, what if they turn around, or what if something shifts in the story? I don't want to miss something, but also like I don't, because I've done this before years later. I've stopped a movie and then been like, man, I wonder what ended up happening in that, you know? And then it's been so many years I can't remember the name of the movie, you know? And so then I just have to sit the rest of my life wondering what happened. So I usually don't walk out of movies, but this one, it was honestly just disgusting. It was disgusting. I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. And so I left, which was so upsetting because I was so excited. I looked forward to it. You know, I invited my brother to go with me, I think, and I'm glad we didn't go watch. Oh no, that was We Live in Time. We Live in Time was another movie like that, man. That's the one I think I went or I saw, and I'm like, man, I'm glad me and my brother didn't go to this together. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, I don't know. It's almost like they have like a quota of things that they want to hit when they make these movies. And it's like, oh, we need to have this many scenes with adult content in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they're trying to make people uncomfortable. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, if you wanted to do that, you can like go search it up. I don't know. Why do we have to shove it in people's faces? It's super annoying to me. So, anyways, so that's why I'm super particular when I look stuff up. Also, am I talking too fast? Also, I get excited. Also, I don't really like scary movies. I don't like psychotic movies, like where the character is like mental or in any way. I don't know why they just really bother me. I think because I'm somebody who like I don't I it's not something I have to try to do, but I automatically put myself in other people's shoes, like in terms of like wondering what it feels like to be them or how they're feeling. And so when I do that, it's just naturally, like I just naturally, like if somebody's sad, I'll just start crying because like I can like feel what it feels like whatever they're feeling or whatever. And so I think that's probably part of the reason why I don't like watching stuff like that, because I know they're acting or whatever, but I don't want to watch a movie where the whole time I have to be like, they're just acting, because what's the point in watching the movie then? You know what I mean? And so I think that's part of the reason I don't like horror movies and stuff like that, but so I stray away from that kind of stuff and creepy stuff, scary stuff, you know? So, but I do this thing where I'll look up like early 2000s movies on Google. And Google changed their thing to where they used to pop up like the covers of the movies. They don't do that anymore. Now you type in movies with Reese Witherspoon and it pops up the stupid AI with a bunch of like it'll say the names of the movies and then it'll give a description that I have to read. It's like, dude, I don't want to sit here and read through everything. Like, I can so much easier look at the covers and see if I want to watch it or not. You know what I mean? Like, so I can judge it by the cover. So it doesn't pop up like that anymore. It's super irritating. And so now, I just, I kind of do it, but because what it is they used to, you could do that and then click on the cover and then it would bring you like the trailer, tell you who's all in it, and I can like decide really quickly if I want to watch it or not. And so it doesn't do that anymore, but I used to, I guess you'll say then, I used to look up like early 2000s movies. So I'll look up early 2000s movies because for me, I don't, what in the world? I accidentally just typed in 2000s and it just starts talking about 9/11. Okay. Movies. Forgot a word. Um, So something about the early 2000s movies, or even for a minute there, I said I'm not watching anything that was between anything after 2017, because for a minute there, man, those movies, they just sucked. Like, they were just pumping out crap. And so I had that like rule for myself for a while, but I'll type in early 2000s movies. They just have some kind of feel to them. And I try to put my finger on it. I don't really know what it is, especially like 2000 to like 2000, I don't know, 12 maybe, or 11. They just, I think what it is like they're not overly, like they're trying, like they did great, they did amazing jobs on the movies, but like they're not trying to be perfect. It's like it's like putting too much makeup on, you know, like you looked pretty before and now you got a bunch of makeup on, and it's like I don't know, it just kind of takes away, like, why does the background have to look perfect, and like nobody lives in this house, and like why does everything have to be so, you know what I mean? Like, they just made movies different back then, and so I really like the just kind of vibe of the early 2000s. I watched no, it's not called Bring It On. It's with Channing Tatum. It's about dance, Step It Up. I never seen that before. And I will say, like, movies like that, there are some, I don't know if people thought they were silly then when they came out, but there are things about them that are kind of cringy. Not cringy, but just like, okay, well, we know where this is going. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, that movie came out in 2006, and it has that kind of like early 2000s feel that I'm talking about. I'd never seen it before, but I watched it yesterday, and yeah, it was interesting. The acting, some of the acting was interesting, but I don't know. It's like they're not perfect, and maybe that's why I like them. You know, they're not trying to go all out and be crazier than they were the last year and whatever. Um, yeah, and early 2000s movies, Mean Girls, The Notebook. Oh my gosh, what's it? White Chicks. White Chicks is funny to me because for years I wouldn't watch it, and finally somebody convinced me to watch it, and I was like, okay, okay, because it just looks stupid. I didn't understand what it was about, and so I watched it, and it's hilarious. Some parts of it are hilarious. Like, if I had to pick, I would give it like a 6.5 or a 7 maybe out of 10, cuz there's some parts in it that are just kind of gross, you know, and then I'll just skip over cuz they're boring. So anymore I've learned to just like look up the clips on YouTube, and that seems to, that's fine for me, you know, cuz like the car scene, it's 50 Cent and B.I.G., you know what I mean? That part, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh, that's such a good scene. So, me and my friend quote that all the time. So, nobody's around. Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, I'm gonna have to watch that. But yeah, it's so funny. And then the scene where they're in the, I haven't seen it in a while, but they're in the dressing room trying to get dressed and they don't fit into any of the clothes. That's a good one. And then the dance scenes are funny, but like that's pretty much it. The rest of the movie, I'm either gonna skip because it's gross. You know what I mean? Like the scene with Terry Crews when they're out to dinner is really, it's not my cup of tea. It's just, yeah, it's just kind of gross. But no, it's a funny movie. Like I'm glad I know what it is because we do quote that quite a bit. It's pretty funny. Um, what are some other movies? Grind is a good movie. It's a great movie. It's about skateboarding. I feel like that's one of those movies that people don't really know, but as well, you know. I feel like if I say that, someone's like, "What? Grind? Like, what do you mean?" Like they think they're not thinking of skateboarding, if you know what I'm saying. It's a super good movie. I would give it a 10 out of 10 really. It's about these kids who are graduating high school and they want to make it skateboarding. Obviously, they don't want to go to work or college or whatever. So they like follow this other professional skateboarder kind of around the country, and they're trying to get in front of him so he'll see how good they are and sponsor them. And so it's kind of like a road trip and like very 2000s vibe. It's a super good movie. Um, yeah. Yeah, but so like I'll just look stuff up like that, or I'll look up actors and stuff, and I'll find movies to watch that way. But my gosh, do you hear the neighbors? That is ridiculous. Or is that thunder? No, I think it's the neighbors. Yeah, that's crazy. They are so loud. What's the protocol for a noisy upstairs neighbor? Because they have no qualms, you know? They don't care. They have a little boy, and I don't think he goes to school. I know it's summertime right now, but even before, like, they just don't seem to care. Like, sometimes it almost sounds like people are being body slammed down to the ground and then dragged across the ground and then body slammed again. So what's the protocol here? Like, what's a normal thing to do in this situation? Because, like, I try to be nice to everybody. I'm not going to judge you, you know? I'm not going to. But when it's 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and you're just pounding, sounds like you're playing Just Dance up there. Like, I don't know. It's kind of rude. Especially, like, you know. Maybe they don't know how loud it is, I guess. But, like, I have waken up before because they were playing Just Dance or hosting WWE up there. And I've taken a hammer and, like, smacked it against the wall, and I can hear their conversations. Like, that's how they have to know that they're being loud. But, like, smack the hammer against the wall and they'll be like, sorry, and then literally keeps going. Because, like, I guess they don't care. They let their kid do whatever he wants, but, like, it's just annoying, you know? So, like, what am I try to be nice. I try to be nice. I try to be nice, but, like, man, like, because I'll see them and they'll be like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, well, I'd be a little better if I had a good night's sleep. No, I don't say that. I don't say that. I'm just like, good, but I don't know. It's rude on their part. And, like, yeah, it's just rude. Anyways, I don't know if you could hear them or not, but they were being pretty loud there for a second. But, what was I talking about? Movies? I had a point, man. See? They're interrupting me with their wrestling match. Speaking of wrestling, a show that I do like to watch. Oh my gosh, I can almost hear them. You could probably hear them on the mic. Anyways, a show that I love to watch, you guys, is The Ultimate Fighter. If you don't know, The Ultimate Fighter started in about 2005, and it's a show, it's like a reality show meets, what's it called? Mixed martial arts. It's like the Kardashian. No, it's not like the Kardashians. I've never seen that, but it's just drama mixed with like fighting. So I don't actually watch the like show itself. I watch the greatest moments because those are the greatest moments from season 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. There's like 34 seasons or something. But the greatest moments, that's what I watch. Because it's the greatest moments. I don't have to sit and watch the entire show. Although I am considering going back and watching like the actual full episodes. I don't know how long they are, and I don't know what I could watch it on, but you know that could be fun because some of the seasons weren't any good, and some of them were really good. I don't know what my favorite season was. Let's type it in. Greatest moments. Yeah, they're just on YouTube, so I don't have to like pay. I don't have to like pay for Amazon Prime or anything, or Paramount Plus. I think that's what it's on. The Ultimate Fighter Undefeated. What's that? It's a new show they got going on here. Well, Daniel Cormier's on the cover. Well, it's a new show. They're 42 minutes. Wow. Anyways, The Ultimate Fighter, yeah. Some of them are really good. Season 8 was good. I remember that one. I'm looking at the, what's it called? The thumbnails. Season 8 was funny. Poor kid. It's 3 hours and 16 minutes long. This guy. What's so funny is, it's not funny, probably, for them. I couldn't imagine being them. So, like, what? If you don't know this, I'll try to explain it better, okay? The show it's a reality show. It's apparently unscripted, which, I don't know. Maybe some moments are scripted. But they bring these guys in, like 15 guys, I think, and they're all going to live in this house, and they're picked teams to be on, and there's a fight every week. Somebody will fight against the other. Whoever wins gets to decide the next fight for the next week. And yeah, it keeps going and going, and at the end, there's a live fight. The last fight is live in Las Vegas, and the person gets a contract to the UFC. So, like, there's a lot on the line. It makes careers and stuff. And so they'll do that. There's that aspect of it, the fighting aspect, but there's also all these 15 dudes with, rage in them, knowing how to fight, like living together in a house, being all macho man. So, I mean, that's funny sometimes, the pull pranks and stuff, which I think is hilarious. But so what happens sometimes is like these guys will get in there and they'll think that they have what it takes, I guess. I don't know how they find these people. One of the guys like said he only had like a few fights under his belt. It's like, well, why would you put him on a show to get him? I don't know. I don't really understand how all that works, but they'll get on there and they have to make weight to be able to fight. So if they don't make weight, they can't fight. And so sometimes like people will chicken out, like not want to fight, which is understandable. I mean, you're being put in a cage with this other person who's basically trying to kill you. That would be pretty terrifying, but I mean, you did kind of sign up for it. So what they'll do is they'll not make weight on purpose. Some people probably don't mean to, but I mean, if you know you have to make weight, why are you eating certain things and like sabotaging yourself? I don't know. So they would like sabotage themselves and so that they wouldn't have to fight, but they didn't have to lose, if you know what I mean. Like they didn't have to go home a loser. They just had to go home and know that they didn't make weight, which is crazy because like you have an opportunity of a lifetime. Like they always say that. Like this is the opportunity of a lifetime. It'd be like the chance like winning American Idol or something. Like you had the opportunity of a lifetime and you just blew it because you got scared, which I get it. That's understandable. But also like there was somebody else that could have been on here that you took their chance, and you kind of wasted it. So it's sad, but that one of these guys did that. Or they'll like get in fights before they're supposed to fight. It's like when people are in jail and they get in fights before they're supposed to leave because they're scared to leave. It's like kind of that same thing. But yeah, it's a super good show. I really like it. Although the newer seasons, I don't know, I just don't vibe with them. I just like the older stuff. My favorite season, maybe I'll have to go back and actually watch them episode per episode, but to make a fair assessment. But my favorite season was, I don't know, I really like season 8. And this was a while ago when I was watching them all, but I started to watch them again while I was drawing. Because it's just like, it's kind of background noise. And then I'll watch the fights and then the drama. I don't know. It's just something to kind of have on. I like it. Season 5 was good. That's the one Nate Diaz was in. And what's cool about it too is they'll have coaches like on each team, and they do it kind of different every season. But like some seasons, the coaches get to pick their team, and then other times I don't know how they just kind of switch it up. But the coaches pick their teams, and then at the end of the season, after the live fight or whatever, the coaches will fight, and so they're also like hating on each other, being big macho men, showing who's tougher than the other one, and it's super funny. It's just funny to see, I don't know, men act like that. It's pretty funny to me, and there's some pretty cool moments on it. Yeah, season 31 was what's his name? Conor McGregor. I didn't watch that one, but I don't know. I don't like the newer stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty good show. I would recommend it, even if you don't like. Oh yeah, there's Ronda Rousey. Yeah, she did like season 18 or something. That was I liked watching that one. It was the first time they let the women do the Ultimate Fighter. That was pretty cool. And of course there was like, it's actually kind of funny. I wouldn't say there was extra drama. There was the same amount of drama, just different in the way, men are all like, "What, you think you're a tough guy?" Blah, 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 blah. And then the women are like, yeah, it's different, but it's funny. It's a good show. I'd recommend it. Yeah, it helped me learn a lot about the sport and everything, and I really enjoy it. It'd be so much fun to go to Las Vegas and see something live. I don't even know if they do that anymore, though. I was watching a documentary kind of thing the other night about how the UFC got started and how it kind of, when it first started, it almost didn't make it. And actually, the Ultimate Fighter is the reason that it did make it, because it brought more of like a story and the characters to life. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same reason why we'll go see Shrek 5, even though it's going to be awful, because we know the characters. Sorry, did you hear the air conditioner turn on? We know the characters and we're like invested in their story. So it's the same reason, like they see these guys for however many weeks it goes on of their training in this camp, and they're while the show's airing, and then the live performance, people want to see who wins because they're invested in the story, and that's why it worked so well. But now, and then it started talking about the kind of the decline and when COVID happened and everything like that. It was really kind of cool documentary, if you will. It was just a YouTube video somebody made, but it was like 30 minutes long or something. It was pretty cool. But yeah, that's a really good show. I'd recommend it. All right. What else to talk? How are you doing today? I'm sorry. Excuse me, I don't mean to be rude. How are you doing today? You doing all right? How's your drawing going? Or your cleaning or whatever you're doing? Hope you're having a good summer. This summer, I've been having a good summer. Thank you for asking. When does summer technically start? June or May? I guess May. May probably starts in May. That's when school lets out. Or maybe June. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I've been having a good summer. A good past few months. It hasn't been too hot outside. Also, I did not have air in my car. I haven't had air in my car for like 2 years, which is a real bummer because I did drive to Quartzsite, Arizona last year through the desert. Quartzsite, Arizona is like one of the top 10 hottest places on Earth or something like that. It's crazy. It gets like 120 degrees. Maybe not on Earth. I don't know the statistics, but it gets crazy hot there. And I drove there with no air and then stayed in a tent for, I think I only had to do that for a night or two, but it was super hot. I had a spray bottle on the way there. I had a spray bottle full of water, and I would spray I had a fan, like a trucker's fan from like a gas station that you can plug into like the USB lighter or whatever. Is that what USB? Just the cigarette lighter. You'd plug it in, and then the fan would go. And so I'd have that big fan on, and then I'd spray myself with water, and that'd keep me cool because I didn't have any air. And I would do that at night when I slept too. I think I had to sleep in that tent for like 2 or 3 nights, and then I found something else. I found a room, and I was able to have air and be in there. But yeah, that was crazy. That was wild. It's 120 degrees out in the desert. It was so hot there that you would just be existing in your house, and you just hear bam, bam, tires on the interstate popping because of the heat, because it was so hot. And so you have to like make sure you deflate your tires a little bit because they'll expand in the heat. It's super crazy. Windshields would bust because it was so hot. Like the glass would get so hot and they would just bust. It's crazy. I had never experienced anything like that before. Like living here, I live in Indiana, and we just have naders here. We have swirly whirlies to worry about, and that's pretty much it. Maybe some flooding. But yeah, it's a different animal out there. Although the heat there is very different than the heat here. It's not really the heat that I worry about here. It's like the humidity is just annoying. You know, like it just makes you all sticky and wet. Heat there is dry. Like I had no problem. Like maybe not during the middle of the afternoon, but I would go play basketball like in the morning, which was super cool. And then I'd go play, or you could go play at night, you know, or when the sun's going down and it was bearable. It wasn't too hot. I'd rather be hot like that in a dry heat than in a, you know, like a humid heat. You know, that Quartzsite place it's like 3 hours away from Las Vegas. I was gonna go, but the person I was gonna go with he was like, oh, I don't have enough time or whatever, chickened out or whatever. But I want to go one day. Definitely wouldn't go by myself to Las Vegas though. We'll say probably will never do that, but never say never. Yeah, I would like to go see all the lights and everything one day. It'd be super cool. Go see a live UFC fight, but. In case you're wondering, my favorite fighter is Paddy the Baddy. He is hilarious. He is absolutely hilarious, and I think, he has a YouTube channel actually, and he like does his fight days and his fight stuff and like what he eats and stuff. It's hilarious. He's my favorite, but it'd be cool to go see a live fight or whatever. But yeah, oh yeah, so the summertime. So this summer, it hasn't been so hot. And not just because I'm not in Arizona, but it just hasn't been hot because it just hasn't been like the past few days. I go outside and it feels like fall outside almost. It's super nice. I'm like, man, I'll take this every day. But you know, I enjoy a sunny day. I do. I enjoy the sun being out, nice blue sky with nice big white clouds in the sky. It's like the perfect day. Maybe like 70 degrees outside. The day couldn't get any better at that point. That's all I'm saying. these people, they come in here and they're like, no, like, I like the gloominess, like overcast. I'm like, okay, sure. Maybe, maybe one day. Okay, and then I'm done. I'm done with the overcast. Nope. I don't like it. I don't need that negativity in my life, you know? Like, that's like the kind of time where you'd sit down and you'd watch Harry Potter all day, which I don't watch Harry Potter, but it's the same vibe, you know? Or I'll sit in and watch Shrek 2 all day, you know? It's that kind of thing. Or if it's like it's raining outside, I can handle those days. But I don't want to be doing this for days on end, weeks on end. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand people like that. I get it for a day, maybe 2 days. But after that, I don't get it. And no thank you. I would rather not. I'd rather the day be sunny outside, sitting on a beach somewhere. You know, that's my kind of day. That is my kind of day. But I've been enjoying my summer. Having a good summer. Went up saw my dad. That's where I got my air conditioner fixed, by the way. I think that was my whole point there, is I got my air conditioner fixed. Which it wasn't as expensive as it could have been. He knows a guy. How many guys do you know? I know about 75 guys. That's from Grounded for Life there, if you don't know. I know about 75 guys, but he knows a guy and got it fixed for cheaper than it would have been at a shop. But yeah, so now I have air, and you know, sometimes I forget now that I have air because I went without it for so long that, like, I'll be like, man, it's kind of hot, and I'll just keep driving, forgetting to turn on the air. It's super funny. I was like, girl, turn on the air. Sometimes I'll shut it off so I can remember, like, not to take it for granted anymore. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I don't ever want to be ungrateful for the air. Because also last summer, or wasn't last summer, the summer before, we didn't have air conditioning in the house. And so there was this, like, tiny little air conditioner unit that was, like, supposed to fill up the whole house or the whole apartment. And it did not do a very good job. And it was so loud, dude. I mean, I know you can probably hear my air conditioner now in the background. No, it was much louder than that. Maybe my mom, we couldn't hear each other. We had to, like, shut the air off so we could have a conversation. It was ridiculous. But see, now I'm just living the dream, man. I have air in the house. I have air in my car. It's like, what? That's so awesome. I love that. That's amazing. Next thing I want to do is get for my car, like, to get fixed up. I want to get a new driver's seat in my car. 2001 Saturn. The seat that you sit in to drive was awful from the day that I got it. I remember when I sat in it, I was kind of like, what in the world? Kind of like how to be comfortable in this thing, because it was basically just a piece of metal and then a thin little cushion on top of it. So it was super uncomfortable. And yeah, I believe that's, who's to say what's messed up my spine, but I believe it could be directly correlated to why I have scoliosis and it's called anterior pelvic tilt. Sounds funny, but like my hips just point down, they point forward. It can mess up a bunch of stuff, and then they also, one's taller than the other, so it makes me walk funny when my leg's taller than the other. Anyways, and I'm breaking it down to thinking that it might be that seat in my car, you know, because driving across the country so many hours a day, you know, and then door dashing. When I door dash, it's like for hours and hours, 12-hour days for weeks on end, months in a row, you know. That's a lot to be sitting in that uncomfortable chair, and I think that very well could have been what made my spine and my whole skeleton, like, deformed, if you will. It's awful. It doesn't hurt, but it's like annoying pain. You know what I mean? Like, it's like inflamed. It's like just irritated. But it doesn't like hurt. Sometimes it hurts. I had some like spine or muscle spasms the other day, which made me cry. Actually, they were pretty bad, but I think that was just from overstretching. Man, you gotta take care of yourself. I really gotta take care of myself. Like, I try to do better, but like sometimes then I overdo it, you know? I was like, I'm funny like that. Like, I'm like, oh, I should start doing this thing. And I'll do it, and then I'm like, well, I could do it a little more. I could do it a little better. And so then I'll do that, and it'll just be too much sometimes. And then, like, I'll either completely stop doing it, or I'll hurt myself like I did with stretching. I was like, so I go on 2 walks every day. I was like, well, I'm going to start stretching. I was like, well, let me just start stretching for 15 minutes. Pull up a 15-minute video, watch the same video every day. But then I was like, well, in the video, this is what happened. She was like, well, there's another stretch you can do after this if you want to like keep it going, make it a whole 30-minute stretch. I'm like, okay, Kelly, like, all right, I see you. One day I was like, okay, I'll do that. And like, it was like awesome. Like, I felt amazing afterwards after stretching, you know, we felt good and healthy. And then I was like, well, after my dinner walk came around, I was like, why aren't we double stretching now as well? And so, I was stretching for an hour a day, every day. And it was nice, you know. I was like, man, I feel great. Like, even now just talking about it, I'm like, ooh, I could stretch some more, but I don't really know what a healthy amount is. I looked it up, and they say stretching an hour a day can help you, because I want to like fix my skeleton, right? I want it to go back to where it's supposed to be. God knows how long it's been out of alignment or whatever, and I just didn't notice. I was always like, man, why don't one of my ribs sit out and higher than the other one? Like, oh, that's weird. I just never, I never really thought about it, but now I know. And so like I'm trying to be like, oh well, if I stretch more, maybe it'll like put it back together. But man, I don't know if I'm stretching too deeply or if it's just how long I'm stretching that's doing it. Because like an hour a day seems excessive, but like if I'm trying to build and get my skeleton where it's supposed to be, that doesn't seem so excessive. Like, it seems like a price to pay. But I think what happened was I was just going too deep in the stretches, trying to make my skeleton go back to where it's supposed to be, and that caused like severe strain. Although I didn't think that's what it was at first. Like, when I woke up with the muscles, I woke up and my back hurt a little bit. This was like a week or two ago. My back hurt a little bit, and I was like, man, that really kind of sucks. I was like, but it's fine, you know? And, it's fine. And so I kept going throughout the day, and it started hurting a little bit more, and a little bit more. And, you know, of course, I had already scheduled, I had to go help I didn't have to, I planned to go help my brother. He does, he puts pools together. Like, keeps the chemicals and everything up on him. He has a pool business. And so I went to go help him on his route to learn a little bit more. So it was like kind of hard work that I was going to have to do. And I scheduled like a little like Goodwill day with my friend. And it was the day before, and that's when I started having those spasms, and I'm like, just getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm like, oh my gosh, should I stretch? Like, because I didn't know what it was, because I woke up with it. It's not like after I was done stretching I was like, oh man, that hurts now. No, I woke up with it and I couldn't figure out what had happened. I was like, maybe I slept wrong, I don't know. So I was finishing up some stuff I had to do before I drove the hour to go see my brother, and I was in the grocery store, and oh my gosh, dude, I got in my car to go to the grocery store, and I was like, this is awful. It just kept getting worse. And then sitting in the chair didn't help. I go to the store. I'm in the store, like, carrying my stuff, and, like, tears are, like, pouring out of my eyes, and people are staring at me, and I'm just trying to, like, get through. And then I forgot some stuff I needed. It was just a whole ordeal. A whole ordeal, all because I was stretching too much. But, yeah, so I didn't stretch for the 2 days I was up there, and I felt fine. Like, eventually, like, day 2, it went away. But I had to sleep like crazy. It was it was the kind of pain where, like, not a spasm. I don't know the difference between a spasm and, like, it wasn't a pinch either. It's like if I moved a certain way, like, bam, it would send it. So I guess that is a spasm. But it would, like, just hurt, and I would have to quickly, like, find a different way to move so it wouldn't hurt. And so I had to sleep, like, in a crazy way, and I'm already sleeping on the floor because I'm at my friend's house. I'm sleeping on the floor after having this back spasm with, like, my legs up in the air with a pillow underneath, trying to find a comfortable way to sleep and then try not to move through the night, you know what I mean? But I woke up, and what is happening right now? Oh, I guess I accidentally set a timer. But I woke up, and I felt a little bit better, and then that's when I had to go help him with the pools. And so I was, you know, cleaning, I was doing it. It's like hard work. And then by the end of the day, I was just like, dude, I'm done. I need to go sit down, you know. And then I woke up the next day, and it slowly got a little better. But I decided maybe I don't need to be stretching for an hour a day. Or, I don't know, maybe I just don't need to be stretching so, like, deeply, like, trying to, like, push my body so far. And she even says that. See, I should have known. She says that in the video. She's like, she's like, stretch, but if it starts to hurt, and I'm just like a go-getter, I'm like, oh, it's okay if it hurts. It's fine. It's better for me, you know? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just did a little too much. I don't know. But I'm gonna start. I've started today stretching a little bit less. Okay. Maybe I'll feel a little bit better. I don't know. But now stretching less, I'm like, okay, I'll just do 30 minutes total in a day. So I cut it in half. 15, one walk, 15 after the next walk, and now I feel like I need to stretch. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Um. Also, yesterday I went to the gym. In the evening. If I am gonna lift weights, I will do it in the evening because after I eat dinner, after my walk and I eat dinner because I just have more energy. Who wants to wake up and immediately go lift some heavy stuff? Not me. I noticed that when I did it at night, I had more energy to do it. So I went to the gym yesterday and I was like, it was like I don't know, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I was like, whoa! I walked in. I was like, wait, nobody's here. This never happened before, ever. Never, ever, ever. I was like, where is everybody? I looked in the bathrooms, made sure nobody was in there. I was like, this is wild. This is awesome. Nobody was in there. And I was like, man, this is the night to go to the gym, I guess. Saturday night. I think it was Saturday yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, it was Saturday. I was like, oh, I finally figured it out. That's why nobody's here. And so I've never, this is my first time. I've been at the gym before, but I would always just walk on the treadmill because, it's, scary or whatever. Learning the machines and stuff. I always wanted to learn how to do the machines because, in my opinion, they're easier than... You can hear the siren. Oh my gosh, man, this microphone picks up everything. What's the point? Anyways, I'm on fire, that's why. I would walk on the treadmill, and then I would just leave. But now, I'm like, I want to try it a little. I want to, lift weights and stuff. I'm already pretty strong, but, I don't know, I want more definition and better workout, get my heart rate going and everything. So yesterday, when I went, I was super happy to see nobody was in there. I, tried out all the machines, because I don't want to do it when people are there. They're going to look at me and think, she doesn't know what she's doing. No, just kidding. That's ridiculous. Isn't it funny that we think like that as humans? I've seen other people who are like, well, I don't want people to look at me, and then they're going to know I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, well, we all had to go do it. You have to do things for the first time, You have to do it sometime. You just have to learn what you're doing. But it was way more comfortable for me to sit there and, move the machines around, move, the seats and, the leg where you put your legs and, do all that and, figure out what worked best for me on the machines. That I would say I'm more comfortable now to go when people are there and use the machines. The weightlifting machines, I mean, I don't mean, the cardio or anything like that. But, it's a little confusing to me the way, when people build, workout programs and stuff like that. It's I understand the whole... What confuses me when people are like, okay, we have a push and a pull day, and then you have legs, arms, abs, whatever. People, mix it up like that. And then, some people, also match their diet to what they're doing that day. It's that's crazy. How do you figure all that out? That's wild. I guess you just have to figure it out some point. I'll say I didn't used to know how to count my calories, but I do that now. It's I weigh my food out and I make sure I hitting my protein and stuff like that. But I don't know, it's just a little confusing for me because I understand you have to let the muscle group rest or whatever, but I let it rest and then the next day it's still sore. So am I supposed to just keep not lifting weights or at what you know what I mean? And a lot of people, and then that's the other thing. There's so many different opinions about it. I don't know what's good or what I'm supposed to do because there's so many different opinions about it. I guess that's where you just gotta try something and see what works for you because everybody is different, and everybody has different goals too. That's the thing too. But no, it was super fun using the machines. I've always been able to most of the time when I lift weights, I just do this on YouTube. This what is it called? The dumbbell. It's a dumbbell full body workout. And it's a 20-minute workout. It's really 15 after the stretching. But I don't do the stretching. I just skip. I'm going to be honest. I skip straight to the lifting the weights. But I'll just do that and then I'll walk. But that's what I usually do for my weights. But I don't know. I would like to start using the machines, but my point is you don't really get much ab movement. I would say my abs and my back is the thing that gets hit the least. My arms will get hit the first. Those are so easy. Just pick up heavy stuff. That's so easy. And then the legs are probably second. Wish my legs were a little bit stronger. But I just want it to be even, you know what I mean? I don't want to have huge arms and like wimpy little legs. Like I just want to look even. And so when I first started working out in high school, I think it was like junior year or something, or sophomore year, I, dude, I used to weigh like 220 pounds. That was the most I ever weighed. Poor thing. Feel bad for her. I love her. She's amazing. Doing all the hard work to get the weight off, but um, I didn't really know a lot about fitness and everything then, so I would just kind of like do whatever. I'd make up my own workouts, and like I was hitting shoulders like so ridiculous. My shoulders are huge now, and it's so unproportionate to everything else. Like wasn't doing any workouts for my legs besides like walking, and that was a period of my life I'd walk so much because walking really is like if you're trying to lose weight, walking is the way to go. Like if you don't overthink it, just go walk. Get you a little Apple Watch or something to count your steps or something to like keep your progress or one of those little step thingies that count each step. Like if you don't want to wear a watch or something, really that's the way to go. And then eat in a calorie deficit. Bam! It's so easy. It's so easy. Everyone wants to overcomplicate it and say, "Oh no, 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 we have to be doing this way or we got to be doing it that way." Like they make people not want to do it. And maybe that's the whole point. Like there's just so much information about it, people don't want to do it. They don't care. It's overwhelming. And so that's the way to do it. So I was still in school then too. So I think I would get up at like 6 a.m. and I'd go get my friend. She lived down the road. I'd knock on her door, wake her up, and we'd walk like a few miles. I think we would just walk. We wouldn't run or anything. We had a like route that we would do every day. It was super fun. And then we'd go to school, and then I'd get out of school, and I'd go work at Dairy Queen. And then after work at Dairy Queen, I would go walk some more with my friends. There was another group of twins that lived down the road, and we would go walk with them, and it was cool. Like we all like kind of wanted to lose weight at the same time or whatever. And it's motivating when you have it in a group like that because like if someone's really not feeling it that day, like the others it'll motivate them. You know what I mean? It was super fun to do it like that, and us all kind of lose weight together at the same time. But we'd go walk together, and I don't know what the goal was. It was like 20,000 steps or something, or maybe 10. It was like 15 or 20,000 steps we were getting every day. That's how I'd lose weight. And I didn't like count my calories. I counted them, but I didn't weigh my food. Which, if you're gonna count your calories and not weigh your food, I mean that's like brushing your teeth but not flossing them. Kind of like what's the point? You know what I mean? How are you gonna know what? I mean, you can measure, I guess, like with measuring cups. But if you're not gonna weigh it, I mean, you know how they have those like charts and it's like, oh, how much chicken should you be eating, and it's like, oh, a fist size of chicken. It's like that's not really that's not really accurate, is it? So I don't know, I weigh my food. I didn't then, but I've since learned, and I since weighing my food I have way better results, and like I can see exactly how much I'm eating, every single calorie and every single thing like that I'm putting inside of my body. I just get better results that way. But yeah, what was my point? Talking about stretching, talking about working out. Oh, but yeah, no, making myself unproportionate. So I would just, yeah. Then after we walked, I would come home and walk, or sometimes, yeah, I had like a weird weight routine I would do. I would just lift some weights, but I wasn't doing anything to train my legs, and so my legs are super my whole body. I feel like it's unproportionate. I don't look bad. Like you wouldn't really be able to tell probably, but I just want to even it out. So I want my legs to look, I just want it to all be even. Like that's my goal. I'm not like trying to be like shredded to an unhealthy point, but a little shredded. No. I just want to look proportionate. And so that's like what I'm trying to do right now. And I feel like the machines really help you do that because one of my arms is stronger than the other. I think everybody struggles with that, but I can tell, at least I can see it, like, you know, and so the machines, like if you're doing that, and I don't know the names of all the machines, but I was trying it yesterday and it made me realize that like it's super easy if you're going to do curls on one hand with one arm with one dumbbell. You're going to do curls on the other hand. You could be possibly getting the same range of motion. Like one, you might be lifting more and building that arm stronger than the other one, and they're uneven. But when you do, there's this like machine, you put your elbows down on it, you pick your weights or whatever, and then you're lifting it at the same time. It's basically the same thing. You're still curling, but it's like even, it seems like. And I don't know. And another thought I had about like even like that and stuff, and my whole spine being out of alignment, is that somehow it's probably affecting my my ability to lift, how heavy I'm able to lift and everything like that, it's probably affecting that, right? Because, like, I'll look down, they'll be like, all right, we're going to go into a squat, and I will think my legs are lined up. And I'll look down, and my foot is, like, quite a few inches further down than my other foot. But, like, that's what feels aligned to me, but it's not, and so I'll have to move it. And so if I'm not paying attention and stuff isn't being aligned, I would say I could be completely, like, not messing it up, but just, like, unevening out my muscles and everything. I don't know, it's weird. And as I lose more weight, I can see, like, my ribs. I've always been able to kind of see that looking down, but looking in a mirror now, I can see how uneven my spine and my hips and just my whole body are. And I don't know, I wonder, surely that has to be affecting me somehow, like, being uneven, or maybe maybe it was the cause for my muscles being uneven, or maybe, like, I don't know, but I'm sure it has something to do with it. And I don't really know what to do about it. Like I said, I'm trying to get another chair for my car. That's a big thing. I don't drive as much as I used to, but when I do have to drive, it's so uncomfortable. We got the Airfix, and now, you know, I want to get the seat fix, but $400 on eBay for a new seat. It's like, bruh. Where you just, first of all, you just have a seat from this specific old car laying around. Who has $400 for that? I've spent $400 to fix my air, you know? But at the same point, it's like, well, for my health, you know, maybe that's the price to pay. I don't know. That seat's super uncomfortable. But yeah, I really want to figure out what's going on with my whole spine thing, because yeah, I am super uneven. It's probably affecting my ability to lift stronger and, like, be whatever. And it's just always kind of something that's in the back of my mind, you know? It's just always kind of there, like, wondering. I don't know if it's how it's affecting me or whatever. But yeah, so, oh yeah, working out, using the machines. So yeah, it was funny. I was like going down the line trying. It's not a big gym, you know, a big gym. It's big gym. I did Anytime Fitness last time I went to the gym, and I hated it. I was also younger, but, like, man, everybody in there seemed so macho, and, like, the trainers there, dude, they did not care about you. They just were there to sell their course, and they can say that they're not all day long, or their class or whatever. They can say that they're not all day long. I don't care. All they cared about was getting money and getting you in there, and, like, they don't care about your health. You know, like, I just didn't like it, and yeah, so I go to this way smaller gym now. It's very small, and when you go in there when there's a lot of people in there, sometimes it's kind of like whatever, but it's more like, I'd say it's like average Joe's more so, rather than a Globo gym. I feel like Globo gym in this story was the not Planet Fitness, Anytime Fitness. And so, yeah, but I like this smaller gym now. Everyone's kind of just there to better themselves, and it doesn't feel like everyone's so macho, better than everybody else kind of environment. And so I like going there, but there's not a ton of machines, but I don't know. I think I want to start, like, trying the machines, trying to find a workout that's good for me or whatever. But this is the kind of thing, like, time is what you need. You know, time's gonna help you figure out, like, if it's working or not. And I tried, like, this ab machine yesterday. That was my whole point. Yeah, I tried this ab machine, which, because my dumbbell workout, my full body workout, doesn't really hit the abs, and I was like, well, I don't want to be uneven, and so I tried this machine, and I didn't know if I was doing it right. It's good that they have those pictures on there or whatever, but and so now, like, I can kind of feel it, and I don't know if it's like a hurt so good, or like I hurt myself, like, pushing too much weight. I don't know. I usually always just leave it on whatever the weight on whatever the other person before me had. I don't know if that's a bad thing. Obviously, if I can't push it, I'll move it up. But I don't know, like, what's a healthy weight to not be, like, destroying your back? I don't know. You know, my grandma always told us to be careful when we were little and lift with your legs and stuff, and I should have listened. Although that's probably not the cause for my spine being out of alignment, but yeah, I used to have a lot of back problems. Any hoozles, yeah, this was fun, guys. We should do this more often. I like hanging out with you. You're pretty cool cat. You like the drawing? It looks like a little kind of skeleton thing to me. I don't know. Let me know what you think it looks like. I'll show the clip here in a second of the full drawing, but I think it's pretty cool. I decided to leave it like that because it looks like a face to me. And, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. And leave me some comments. Please leave a comment. Tell me what you want me to talk about, or if I have any opinions on things. I'm sure I have an opinion about whatever it is. But, yeah, have a great rest of your day. And leave me a like. Okay? Subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Alright? Alright.